It's 7 o'clock. Welcome everybody, and I'd like to welcome our new councillor, Pat Hamilton, this evening.
You've remembered it?
Yes, I've remembered it. So, apologies, Bob, from your side.
Just the operator.
Claire?
Sorry.
Claire.
Yeah.
I've got Claire down here.
Pete Lippier.
Right. And I've been told that Andrew pops over here 10 minutes later.
Yes.
That's me nodding.
Yes.
Susan Bagshaw, and just while we're talking, I'd thank you for giving us the opportunity to welcome Pat Hamilton from this side of the table. Well done.
All right, come out, please, Nick. I've remembered.
Almighty and eternal God, we thank you that you've given each one of us free will and a chance to use that free will to better the lives of those around us in this community in Eastwood. And I pray that we use the opportunities that each one of us has as councillors, as leaders in the community, as members of this community, to work together to build a better community, to support one another and to strengthen all that is good in this town. Lord, where challenges need to be made, where questions need to be asked, let that be done in a spirit of humility and love and gentleness. So may we, as representatives of this community, carry out our responsibilities, recognising that each one of us stands before you, Almighty God, Creator and Giver of life. So guide us and grant us your wisdom tonight as this meeting commences. Watch over us throughout the minutes and hours to come. And bless this time, we pray. For Eastwood, for all gathered here, and in the name of Jesus, our Saviour and Lord. Amen.
Thank you. Declaration of interest.
Item 4.
Item 4.
Election.
Right. Yes, Bob.
The school replacement because of those. I shall withdraw.
You as well.
Same one for me.
Yeah. David.
Yeah, only because it's on one of the items I'm going to put as the allotments. Just with that, in case it comes up in that garden service report.
Yep.
So there's me.
Yep. Notification of lobbying. Yes, David.
Yeah, I've been lobbied by a tenant on the allotments reference removal of asbestos and the lack of Eastwood County Council to do something. And he asked me if we could get some red bags, or where does he get them from? And because he's used to removing asbestos, he's done it most of his life, he's quite prepared to red bag it if someone can tell him where he can dispose of it.
Andrea,
When she
has looked into that.
she'll probably report on it when she gets
She'll
here.
probably report on that, but you can get the red bags from the depot, I believe, at Kimberley. But where you actually take it to, you have to phone up on the day, then they'll tell you where you can take it.
Council, shall I organise that?
Yeah.
Andrew was looking into it.
Yeah.
But no point in 2 people doing it.
Yeah.
No.
And obviously the disposal.
Check with her first.
Now,
The
check with
disposal that
We need to make sure that's done properly.
The bag is if easy enough, it's where you would take it.
Well, I'll sort.
Andrew's looking into that.
Okay, we'll sort it. Make sure
Yeah.
it's disposed properly. Yeah.
Speak to Andrea first,
Yes.
because she's already got contacts.
Thank you, Councillor.
Yes, Ken.
Yeah, I've been approached twice in Eastwood about the access to the new post office for the people in mobility scooters.
Is that on the agenda?
Oh, right.
Right. Any more? Right. Number 4.
Just before we got Councillor Woodard, just though that's not on the agenda, can you make that then an agenda item for your next meeting?
Yeah,
We would
please.
suggest that.
Hang on, let's just-
Thank you, David.
Okay.
Number 4, election, 29th of September. David.
I've been lobbied several times since before the election and since the election. I've actually been lobbied 3 times today while I was working in the retail area. The majority of people want to know and would like the names of the 10 who requested the election to be read out and to be made in the public domain. I believe it's already in the public domain, so if I can read them out. Yeah?
Yep.
I've got an email with the names on, and it's further to request. I can now inform you that the names of the individuals that requested the election are as follows: Doug Wilcoxon, Valerie Wilcoxon, Patrick Hamilton, Margaret Hamilton, Deborah Willett, Doris Ball, Sharon Sanby, Dave Hallam, Christine Hallam, and Milan Ludovic. Those are the names of the 10 people who requested the election.
Yes, David.
Yeah, I've been asked by people, 3 or 4 people, and one even last evening wanted to know on the election leaflet of got the name on the Lib Dem, why the town mayor featured in his regalia on the back of there, when in actual fact is non-political and shouldn't be biased in that way. So we'd like to know on that, please.
Well, we can go tit for tat what isn't in good taste, but one thing I would point out, that actually the use from, this is from our lawyers, ALDC, but we're not challenging it because of costs on the taxpayer, we don't want that the use of the word Freeman and the Borough wasn't lawful to use in the political description. That we're fine following the name or before the name on the line, but the description is prescribed in the Representation of the People's Act on a registered political party, and of course that name is not a registered political party.
Well, I'm still waiting for an answer before you jump in with something else. Can we have an answer first?
As far as I'm
Are you
concerned,
biased or are you non-biased? If you're non-biased, then you shouldn't be on there with your chain. Simple as that. Now, if you are biased, which seems like should you be sitting there? Because you're supposed to be non-political and unbiased. So if you are biased, then I'm afraid you shouldn't be sitting there.
I have got a opinion, right? And I can say that opinion as far as I'm concerned.
No, you can't. Not in your regalia. You can't. You can stand on there as Keith Longdon. I haven't got a problem with that. Once you put that mayoral chain on, which says you're non-political and unbiased, you then become biased. You become biased towards the Lib Dem. And if that's the case, you should not be sitting there. Now tell me you are unbiased. Because it seems like you're not.
As far as I'm concerned, that paperwork was put out and checked by an agent.
The question is, again, I will ask you because it needs a simple answer, yes or no. Are you, as the mayor of Eastwood, non-political when you wear that chain and unbiased?
Yes.
Why then did you go onto a leaflet in your chain if you are non-political and unbiased? Why didn't you just remove it and stand there as Keith Longdon?
I wasn't aware that that was incorrect.
You wasn't aware?
No.
Well, I'm totally amazed if you're not aware of that. Totally amazed.
And obviously,
And as I
people.
say, if you are, and if you are biased, then I'm afraid you shouldn't be sitting there.
Yes, Dave.
I've also been asked And I did ask you this morning whether you got the figures of what the count
Yes,
was,
I've got them here, yes, I've got them here.
the actual turnout was. Thank you. It's just the turnout, so
I've only got a few, if anybody wants. If anybody wants, I've only got a few.
the actual turnout was 502 people actually turned out. That's obviously that's including postal votes, yeah?
Yeah.
It was 502 people. I don't know the breakdown, but if anybody needs the breakdown, I'm sure we can get that.
The breakdown's there, Chris. Dave.
Down the bottom, 320, 174.
No, that's the breakdown of the votes that went to each one. Well, sorry, let me explain. People were asking me how many people voted at the Dora Phillips, how many people voted at Croft, and how many people actually did postal vote.
Yeah.
That's the question I was asked.
You need to know that, Councillor.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the person who asked me the question,
Yeah.
and if he needs that, then we will get that for him.
Yeah.
Right. Next one is questions. Oh no, minutes.
It's the minutes, yes,
Minutes of the meeting of the
11th of July.
11th of July. Has anybody come back to you, Chris?
No, not on this one.
No. We'll get that as read then, please.
Move them in block.
Move en bloc. Yeah.
Can I?
Have these now been amended, Mr Mayor? I put amendments in.
You put,
Yes.
yes, they've been put in, Councillor, yeah. They're in red. They're in red where they've been amended. Because just that one where you came in last week regarding the where you've on allotments, where you let me just find it. That's right. It was on the minutes of the 12th of September. There's a bit in red. A vote was taken, wasn't it? Let's have a look. And I found, no, sorry, it's regarding section 137 grants, TC 5517, and Councillor Rob, you wanted it to be highlighted that you'd voted against it with your name on. That's on page 6. On page 6 on the 12th of September minutes. So I'll make sure that your name goes against that.
Right.
And then you've got the section there all in red, and that was also added on. With Councillor Rob asked me to add that to the list.
Mr Mayor, I voted against these minutes for the 12th. If you listen to the tape.
I'm sorry, what do you think, Councillor?
When we checked,
You speak out, Judge.
sorry, at the last meeting I voted I voted against the minutes. And it's not mentioned.
Which one are we talking about? Sorry, Councillor, which one are we
The
talking
ones that Councillor Bagshaw put an amendment to.
Is
And
that on the,
if I was going down that same avenue, I'd want an explanation as to why I disagreed with them. But we
is
won't
this the
go
12th of September minutes you're talking about?
The ones you'll have to look back, the one that he put the bracket,
That was
What true word, Councillor?
was it the 12th? Was it the 12th?
Yeah, you'll find it. Just very.
Well, no, it wouldn't be the 12th minutes, because it was the minutes of July, that's right.
sorry, it's too right. These minutes aren't being, they're just here, the minutes for July.
Yes, Bob.
I want to just come to the point with regards the alteration of minutes and who does them and making suggestions from the floor. I believe that, and I've said this before, that minutes should be just a brief discussion and then actual note of what was decided.
Yep.
That there shouldn't be descriptions from this councillor said that or the other. They should be very brief. I believe that's the correct way of doing minutes, and it's also, I feel, incorrect for councillors to second guess the officer's decision. They write the minutes, they're fully responsible for the minutes, and I would prefer them not to go through from either side. This is a comment across the chamber. Therefore, I intend on these minutes, on principle, to abstain. That is not a vote again, it's abstain, and I'd like it recorded as such. Because I think we're getting away from the point. It should be officers who write minutes, not for councillors.
Yep.
On this particular ones, and it should be very, very brief, not going into the ins and outs of the argument. Just the discussion took place on X, and a decision Y was made, proposed and seconded by Councillor A and Councillor B. A minimal record should take place. It saves a lot of arguments when it comes to minutes at the next time, and that's the way that I would like the minutes to be done.
Yes. David?
Yeah, I hear what it's saying, to be quite honest. The one very pertinent word is missing out, and always seems to miss out, is accurate. And we need to have accurate minutes. And if we're not getting them, then unfortunately we will keep coming back to make sure that happens. I ain't got a problem with the curtailed minutes as long as they are accurate. And you can't mention accurate. You need to mention that.
Right. Are you proposing that, Bob?
I'm proposing nothing on the minutes.
Oh, right.
I'm abstaining on this one, as I said.
I'd like to abstain on this one, as well. I agree with Bob on this
And
one.
me. Sorry, you're going to ask for who's voting for them.
Right, these minutes, let's have a vote. All in favour of accepting the minutes as they are? All against? And abstentions, please.
Can we have a named vote on that?
Oh dear, do you want to type this, David? 8.
And I can vote on the 2 minutes, but not next meeting, because I was a member of the public. I ain't quite.
For you as well?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to prepare my ground.
So that's 1, 2, 3. Is that right? 6,
1, 2, 3.
6. And I don't know. Andrew voted. I think that
She voted as well.
that makes a 7.
Yeah.
Who,
The rest of them voted for.
4.
Questions, statements from the public?
There's a second session.
Yeah, what about the
Extraordinaries, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
There's one more minute.
Oh, sorry.
second minutes and the extraordinary general
I thought they said it block.
Fair enough if they're on block. That's
Yeah, it was on block. Yeah. Right, questions, members of the public? Yes, Colin?
Would you permit me to let Mr Griffin go first, please?
Certainly.
Fine.
You both put your hand up, Bob.
Yes, but we're concerned about the same issue.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Brian Griffin. Mr Mayor, at the last meeting I spoke on what was then the forthcoming election for a new town councillor to this council. That meeting I said that I was strongly against the amount of money that was going to be spent to elect a town councillor, and that's on record. At that time I did say that I predicted there'd be around 400 vote. Wasn't a bad guess, was it? There was 102 on top of that, made 502. The question I asked Mr Mayor Councillors is this. that if there was 502 voted, and it's a conservative estimate, and you probably have got the figures and I haven't, a middle-of-the-road figure, cost to that election would be £7,500. And if you've all got your calculators, Mr Mayor, it means that for those 500 voters, it cost £150 each one of them. And if that's justification that we've spent that amount of money for 500 people, and it's cost £150 per electorate to elect a council, all I can say, Mr Mayor, I think that figure should be made public, because continue on item 4, where they've asked for the nominee or the names of the people, that ought to be added to it as well. It's cost each voter or electorate that went through into that polling station, it cost £150. That's absolutely crazy. And if you can justify that, and you know, you talk about recording minutes, and you talk about, we've sat here, the member of the public, and here you are, you haven't been in the room 5 minutes, and you're bickering at each other. You're absolutely bickering at each other. It's a pity, Mr Mayor, we can't make all these, it can be made public, but I will forewarn you, Mr Mayor, I'm going to take legal advice on this one, that if you start to argue, I'm going to come and stand at the end of this meeting, I'm going to put my phone on, and I'm going to video it. And let the people see how you perform. That's my question. £150 per electorate. And I think that's disgraceful.
Yes, Colin.
Right, Mr Mayor. The Conservative figures say just 500 people voted. It would have been far less if certain councillors hadn't visited private homes and public houses, urging people to come and vote. Now, the unnecessary and frivolous election that's just been held, could I suggest that the 10 signatories finance this operation and not the ratepayers? It was totally unnecessary. The balance of power was not in question. Had it been a casting vote, it might have been a different matter. And surely, I'm sure between you could have had somebody co-opted on for nothing, because the issue didn't change whoever got in. You could have had Fred Carno put up, but it wouldn't have made no difference. And I should like to see the signatories on the frivolous occasions pay for their own doings. Probably legal or not.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I want to speak about Princess Street,
Yes.
as you know.
Yes.
First of all, I want to ask, why have the council visited number 13 twice in a week?
This council has...
Can you answer that?
Which council, please? Which council?
It would be Broxton Council that's been
Yeah, you've been down there twice in a week, haven't you?
It wouldn't be
To the
Eastwood
druggies.
Council. Yeah, it wouldn't be Eastwood Council, it would be
No.
Broxton Council.
It was you then that was down there, wasn't it? You were down there on the week
I was
last
down at the
Sunday,
bottom.
and you were down there again on Saturday afternoon, inside, talking to
That's
the
right.
druggies.
No, I wasn't talking to druggies.
You were?
I was asking for information. So, no, I don't get involved with druggies. I was talking to people
Well, you were down there anyway.
Yeah, and
You were
I...
down there. You wouldn't ever come to knock on my son's door, would you?
What?
But you were down there talking to them on Sunday,
I
the
spoke
day
to-
after it was raided.
I spoke to you on numerous occasions of what I was doing and what I was trying to do down there.
Mm.
On numerous occasions I've spoken to you.
Yeah,
I spoke to you outside Iceland, I spoke to you in other areas as well,
yeah,
and I've tried to help you out on various issues.
yeah. And I've talked to you
And I
and
have-
give you information and whatnot.
Yeah,
And then
I've
the next
chased
thing,
them.
you're inside the house
And I
talking
was-
to druggies.
No, I wasn't.
And they were away off getting the drugs,
I'm
and you
s-
were in talking inside to the wife.
No,
and
I'm
the-
sorry.
Well, not the wife.
I wasn't
Inside.
talking. I wasn't
The day
talking
after
to
they
them.
were raided.
Yeah,
There were 2 houses, as you know,
That's
raided
right.
down there on
that's
Friday.
right.
You come and live down here.
I'm sorry,
down on
I'm
Princess Street.
sorry, I live just up the road from Princess Street.
Come and live down on Princess Street.
I've just
Come and
lived
live
there.
where my son's living.
No, I'm sorry. I will not argue with you. I
No.
was down
I
there for one
expected the
purpose.
inspector to be here tonight, but he's not here, is he?
I'm afraid
Here
not.
tonight, I thought the police would be here.
No.
But he's not here tonight. Well, I had a letter on last week from the MP
Yes,
saying that the inspector wanted to talk to me,
yes.
but
Well,
he's not here.
I'm saying
tonight,
yes,
so
I'm not
came
aware of that.
tonight.
But Chris has got a report when it comes round to the police update.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll be able to
Yeah.
enlighten you a little bit better on
I mean,
what's happened.
They were over on Friday morning. They were there all morning,
Yes.
made in 2 houses.
Yes, I do know.
With dogs and everything.
I
In the
do know.
afternoon, he was over delivering drugs to Morrison's car park. Him that does the running. Was in Morrison's car park delivering drugs to cars and layabouts that were over there. And they go to every car park in Eastwood.
Yes, David.
Obviously, the lady has a concern, and quite rightly she has a concern.
I do, my word.
You do. But what's your question? Really, what is your question?
Well, one of the questions was I wondered why the council was down in with them in their home whenever they've
I'm
been
sure I
put
can
in
answer
trouble
that.
for 3.5 years.
The other one is that you know that these guys, after the raid, were in Morrison's car park dealing drugs. Have you then reported that to the police?
No, I haven't reported it to them.
And
Not
it's all-
because it's happening all the
I
time,
know,
every
but-
day. I have been to Nottingham Police Station 7 times.
Right.
I've been to Beeston. I've been everywhere. So I've got in touch with the MP, and I got a letter saying that the inspector wanted to talk to me. So that's why I come here tonight, thinking he would be here.
And he's failed to turn up.
He's not come.
It was not
Well, he
expected.
maybe didn't expect me
No.
coming here, but I thought he would be here, you see, to meet him tonight, you know.
Just get.
But,
Keith, can I answer the lady who I've spoke to quite on numerous occasions about the problem down Princess Street? I've reported on numerous occasions of what the situation is down on Princess Street. I've been working with the police on Princess Street, and I know exactly what's going off down there. I visit down there and I have a walk around quite regular around Princess Street and around the back end. And when I see things happening, I report it to the police. It's not a case of I'm mixed with druggies down there. That is out of the question.
well, you were inside
I was
anyway,
talking,
and you were-
excuse me, I was talking, right, on another issue down on Princess Street, okay? I'm not here to tell you what that problem was or what that issue is with that person, because it was breaking her confidentiality, and which I followed up for that person, okay? It is not a case of being involved with drugs or anything like that whatsoever. I go round there regular as clockwork, walking around that area and trying to solve problems, which I work with the police doing so. And I can't give you a lot of information because I know a lot of information what's going to happen around that area. And that is confidential, and I can't tell anybody that, you or anybody else.
You just
Pat?
didn't look very good, the council in there.
While I appreciate the lady's concern, I thought that at the last meeting, when I sat that side, I thought that the sergeant took, was it 2 or 3 ladies
Three
in
ladies,
there, all
yeah.
from
Not
Princess
sergeant,
Street.
that was the inspector.
Yeah, and he listened to their concerns and he promised them that something would be done about it.
Yes,
I know
well,
these things don't happen
that's
overnight.
coming on police update.
Yeah, right.
Yes, Andrea.
I think I'd just like to say that Ken and Dave have been doing a lot down on Princess Street in their defence, trying to sort it out, and it does take time, and the police are aware of it, and we are aware of your concerns, and they will keep trying, especially Dave, because he's the ward councillor as well, to try and sort it out for you.
Yeah. You see, my son's been there 20 years, And when he first moved in there, he had lovely neighbours.
And it's people
When
like
he
you that we
came,
need the help
yeah.
from. But like Dave says, it needs to be reported to the police.
Yeah.
The more you report it to the
Yeah.
police, the better.
Yeah, but it would be reporting it to the police. And never off the police doorstep.
I can quite assure you that Ken and Dave will be doing as much as they can to help down there.
And my son is not a well person.
Yeah, one of the problems, Mr Mayor, my wife reported someone to the police, in fact a friend of ours, that cars on the Hollis were dealing drugs were being dealt from the cars. And nothing was ever done about it. Nothing.
No.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
That's
more of a
what
police
annoys
issue rather
me.
than a council issue. Because like I say,
Sorry?
Ken and Dave are trying very hard to try and sort this out.
But this was reported to a policeman friend of ours who, I don't know whether he took any action or not.
Well, maybe like I said,
But
we just need
nothing was
some
done
more
about it.
police feedback then.
But you're
probably.
forgetting that this is the rights. This is the rights. They've been doing it for years. Everywhere they've lived, they've been doing it. And you're afraid that they're going to do something to you if they find out you're up to something.
Yes, Ken.
Keith, can I remind the lady what I said to you outside Iceland the other
Yes.
day?
Yes.
Okay, I told you that the police were aware of everything that's going down there. I couldn't tell you what was going on, but I did say to you, action soon will be taken in that area.
Yeah.
And I assured you on that things was going to happen and things was in progress of happening. Same as it was pointed out, it can't be done overnight. You have to gain evidence, you have to watch them and gain the evidence before you can do anything
Yeah.
at all.
But you see what
But this is happening, and I can assure you a lot of action down that area will be taken soon. I can't tell you when, because I don't know when. And the police will not tell you when it's going to happen, because they just do it.
That will come up in the police update. So I think we could talk all night on this one. As far as I'm concerned, the police update will update everything that's going on down there. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chair. I'm just going to come back to the question of the by-election. It's actually the right in democracy to ask to hold a by-election. And in the past, this young man here, we had a by-election for him, David Hallett. And we had a by-election for a lady called, I can't remember her name, Perro. And we had a by-election for her. Can't remember these two gentlemen getting up and saying, what about in fact? Probably Mr Griffin at that time sat on this council. I can't believe, well, I don't know if he did or not. But we've had two by-elections, this is the third. And to me, to say that these named people should bear the cost is absolutely abhorrent.
You think so?
Well, I'm telling you. Because if you want to get on to anybody, get on to me. Because it's me that got those names of those people, not those people. It's me that got the names, so just get on to me. And it's my democratic right to call a by-election. And unfortunately, it does cost. And there's probably 11.9% turnout. But there's 11.9%, most of them people wanted to see an Eastwood person co-opted onto this council. And that's what it's about, and that's what we should do. And eventually, probably, we will even out.
I think it was a financial insult to the councillors that's working to convert this building into a modern town hall, to give their labour and expertise free, while you're squandering money on non-essential items.
It's not non-essential. I mean, it's not non-essential. It's balance and power. It may come, there might be another one, which again...
The balance of power was never in question. It wasn't a casting vote you were voting on.
Well, it's very simple then. It would have been ideal if they'd have said, tell you what, because it doesn't affect the power, you can co-opt somebody on. Why didn't that happen?
That would have been the simplest...
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know.
Well, you don't know. So unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So
For
we have to
years
go
and
through a
years,
by-election.
for years and years, you've preached harmony in this chamber.
I have.
You've never had it yet, and it doesn't look as though you ever will.
No, probably not. Probably not.
It's us and them all the time.
But, as I say, it's not the first time that we've had a by-election, and it's It's the third one at least I've moved, and that's costing me each time.
Well, I talked to you as a councillor when I'm here, David, and down the allotment I talked to you as a gardener,
Right?
and you know that, I'm straightforward with it.
Colin, I don't doubt you for 1 minute, but I'm just telling you my side of the story, and I think you're only what you're saying, because I think it's a democratic right to call a by-election. Very simple, and that's what democracy is about. All right, it costs £7,000, but it's democracy, and that's unfortunately what has to happen. The only way that we could avoid it is the people over there saying it's not going to affect us, co-op somebody on.
I'm glad you've said that, David, because that's the first time it's been mentioned in this chamber that could have happened.
Well, it
I'm
could.
glad you've said that.
Simple.
I'm glad you've said that. The heirs are now running. That's the truth, you see. Somebody wasn't prepared to get round the table and co-op. I'm glad you've said that, because that's the first time in this chamber I've heard that said. And I want to thank you for that, because that sounds to me is the truth. That's the we've now got it, ladies and gentlemen. We've now got down to it.
Now, I'm not in the mood for just going around in circles on this.
Yeah, we could talk on it all day.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
We've had this thing, Mr. Chair.
Yes, yeah. Right. Please update, Chris. Oh, sorry, Brian. I didn't see your hand up. I do apologise.
It's all right. I usually get missed, but
I'll never miss you, Brian. You'll know that.
you know that. Can I ask if any of you wish kids here can put on that screen the June the 20th minutes for the public? Can you do that? If not, I've got it here if it'll help.
Honesty, it is, isn't it? June the 20th.
June the 20th. Public question.
I've got Town Hall. That's Town Hall.
Do you want this? Will it be easy for you to take it off this that I've took off?
Michelle, should it be that one, do you think? I know that. It's not on this stick. I only put the minutes on for the meeting.
Do you want this? Can you put this on?
You've got it, have you?
You're talking about Monday, June the 20th, yeah?
Yeah. Can you put it up there?
I could do, but that would take 2 minutes.
Well, I've got 3 left then after that.
Yeah,
Rearranged meeting on it.
What it was simple to let you read it out. Also, you'll have 10 minutes with it.
That's probably this one here. That's all to delay the meeting.
Oh, yes, remember that. It's not
Yes.
We Jeffrey going on to July 2.
I'm asking you.
There you go. Can you go down to the public question time? Can you enlarge it so everybody can read it? Or are they all right at that?
Stick learned down my glasses, but yeah.
The thing Is it up there?
Yeah.
Mr. Bryan.
Right.
Yes.
Can I just bring a point up that when you do these minutes and you report back on them, what does that look like to the ordinary layman in the street when, I'm going to read it off here, what it says on there, Mr. Fretwood reported that I put in response asking for the new council, community hall and office to have a name. Council All Charlesworth responded that at this time the answer is no. And then it said, Councillor David Bankshaw felt the name of the facility was the name of someone to be carried out who did civic duties to Eastwood. It would be nice to name the community hall Councillor Hazel Braithwaite Hall. Mr. Brett will ask if the letter could be read out at this meeting. Now, this is a bit what I call deceiving the public. I don't know what you think, but I'm a layman. And I'm looking at this, when it says that, as soon as I ask that question, at this point, Mr. R. Charlesworth proposed that the community hall is named Councillor Hazel Braithwaite Community Hall. This was seconded by Mr. Longden. Now, the public looking at that, Hazel's daughter looking at that, and anybody else in the district looking at that, by thinking that the member of the council, the leader, and the seconder, it would automatically, as far as you could see, be carried. But this was deceiving the public before 3 days after it was opened officially that the people could come and have a look round. So that meant that you could say to them, well, it's on the agenda that it's going to be named, but not at the moment, because he didn't say I'd suggested it, but it was on here, he proposed it and got it seconded, which automatically you think it's going to get passed, and yet the other people of the 6 or 7 didn't get a vote then, which would have took 25 seconds. You're not supposed to have any time. It would have took 25 seconds to add a vote on that and passed it on the 9th. But you wasn't going to do because you've deceived the public. Now, can you answer me this question, Mr. Chalmers, why that is on there like that, and everybody in this town will think this is going to be named? You haven't even put the July up. You put August up on the minutes, but July hasn't come up. To amend that.
Brian, can I just come in there, please?
Yes.
These minutes have been passed by the council. Right.
Which minutes?
Those.
Them?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been passed by the council as being a true record. So that's the end of it as far as I'm concerned.
July will
Yes.
turn up soon.
So we can deceive the public, then we get away with it.
There's no deception, and you've in the past called me a liar. There's no deception. That was a procedural thing that's fallen to be voted on, and it was, I can't remember, it was that meeting or the following meeting.
It was the following meeting.
Yes.
It was the following meeting we voted on. Yeah, it was left on the table until the following meeting.
That's right.
But that's,
And there was no intention to deceive the
No.
public at all.
well, it shouldn't have been left like that. That's worded all wrong.
I'm not going there.
No, as far as I'm concerned, that's been
I've got my
passed
point
and a
on
true
it.
record.
Yeah, I've got my point there.
Right. Can we get round to police update now, Chris?
Well, everybody, we haven't actually received any record from the police.
Any figures?
Any
Got
figures
time?
or any information whatsoever, but Councillor Longden actually went along to the police station on Friday, and we've got the following information from the police. First of all, as I say, we've got no figures, so we can't give any information in that respect. The second thing is a public space protection order, which has been mentioned in the past, is now being confirmed to cover all the Eastwood area to control the motorbike racing through the local streets. So that is now in order, and they are in the process of carrying out that operation, because they've now got the public space protection order in place. The next item is a person has been arrested who has been carrying out burglary to various local shops. He has been put in prison. That's another issue that's been a big problem in the town. There's been a lot of...
Can I just come in there, because it's not that one that's been put in prison. He's been arrested.
He's been arrested. He's been arrested. And then the third one is a young person was recently tied to a tree and assaulted. The person involved has been given a 1-year prison sentence. And then the final one, there was a drug raid on 2 houses on Princess Street. This followed local information from police records. And that's basically all we've got to report for the police update.
So they have been raided, as you know, right? Yes. So action has been taken from last meeting, and all that I can say is well done, police. Thank you very much. We'll try. Yes, David.
Yeah, I think you have every right to say well done, police. But this lady doesn't really think well done, police, because they did a raid, and then within hours, the people that they raided are out there still selling drugs.
Yeah, by the end of the day, they were
So, is it well done, police, or please, you've done half a job, finish the job off?
Fair enough. I can report that back to the police. No worries.
And when we're talking about the prohibition order, or whatever it was, reference motorbikes and cars, we need to ask the question, because it's the whole of Eastwood, is that what you said?
That's what we're saying,
No,
yeah.
I think it extends more than that, David, but I'm not right to say.
We want to know, and the people of Eastwood want to know, how are they going to manage that? Because
Good
they keep
point.
saying to us, they ain't got many policemen, they haven't got many PCSOs, or God knows what they call them, and now they're putting this prohibition. It's like making a no drinking area. How do they manage it? Because they just move around the corner. You know, we need to have something that satisfies the people when they're going to do these things. So it's no good just arbitrarily saying, well, we're going to do this, and they can't do it.
Yeah,
Can
but,
they do it? We need to have an explanation how they're going to do it.
Yes.
Well, I was told on Friday morning by the police that there's going to be more police down there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you might fly in.
I can assure you, if there's more police, there'll be in cars. They won't be walking on the pavements with the helmet on, like the good old Bob is. They'll be stuck in a car somewhere.
Seen 2 of them today walking through Eastwood. Round the front.
Do you take photographs?
Yeah.
You want a mirror, worry.
I'm afraid it's the same with the police as it is every other area, as you know. There's cooks, right? And they cook to the limit. So, as far as I'm concerned, unless we put pressure on, as a council, to get more police.
Let's go a stage further then, because they have got drastic cuts, and I've always supported them because I wait for them about the cuts. So I know about the cuts and how it affects them. But is it not in the not due distance that they're going to sell Eastwood Police Station?
Well, to be quite honest, I don't know what's happening to the police station.
Well, we need to find out then. Are they
I
going
mean,
to
as
sell
far
it?
as I'm
Obviously,
concerned,
they
all
are
I know
going to
is
sell it. We can't
the
have it,
police
but we
are
are
coming
going to
in
sell
here.
Eastwood Police Station. So what they need to do, because it's in our area, put that money back into Eastwood, and let's pay some coppers with that money to do what these people of Eastwood want them to do. And not just say, well, this comes into a great big bucket, we'll share it out. It's Eastwood.
You've got every opportunity, David, like any one of these councils around this table, to do exactly that.
What, be a policeman?
No. Talk to the police.
They still haven't sold the plot of land they bought off us, what, 7 years ago?
Do you know, I'm willing to talk to the coppers. In fact, I'm going to talk to one about his holiday, because we both went to the same place, so I will be chatting about it. But they should be here.
Yeah.
This is where they should be, to answer questions from the public. And they're not here, they're just treated as, sorry, can't come. I'm not on overtime, I'm going home.
Yes, Bob.
One of the problems that we may have is the timing of our meeting. Because Greasley have their parish meeting on exactly the same, and it's one inspector covers all the patches. Do you think it's wise for us to have discussions with Greasley and try to move the calendar so they don't clash?
Why do the police why have they only been here once and they're always down at Greensmith?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do we know that they go to Greasley?
I don't
yeah,
know.
do we know? But if they are always going to Greasley and they've only come here once, why are they always going to Greasley?
Yes, Pat.
Surely, I mean, I've asked it when I used to sit in the public gallery. Why don't they produce figures that they can give us here so that we can see, and then we can go into these details more? And why not ask for some of these 64 that they're going to set on in Nottinghamshire?
Mr Bagshaw asked for separate figures, didn't you, Mr Bagshaw?
You know, it's been asked numerous times, if they can't attend, at least they can give you the information. You get sod all. And
that's not true, Pat.
I used to get it when I was sat on
I'm going to say that's not
standards.
True. That is not true.
They never turned up.
It's only recently that we haven't had figures. And it's only recently that we haven't had people attend the meetings.
Well, I'm sorry, Chair, but I've been coming here about 4 years, and more times than not, there's been nobody here from the police, except when that female inspector used to come. She used to try and get here.
She was good.
Every time.
Yes, but there was police officers as well.
As a suggestion, Chair, and it may be a little out-of-the-box suggestion, but Bob is an ace with his Apple, whatever it is. Why can't we Skype from the police station? We have to move, we have to sit in the office.
It's all rigged for our end. It's whether their end can do it.
Well, that's what I said. I knew it would be.
It'd be easy.
So we maybe suggest, if you're too busy, make sit in the office and
yes.
we'll put the profile on here. And
it could be a good suggestion for the future.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
At the moment, too many people are trying to defend the indefensible.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right. Planning application, Notts County Council planning application, replacing Limcroft School. Anybody like to start on this one, please?
Yeah, I'll start if you like.
Yep.
I'll crack on, I usually do. We thank the ladies for coming. I had a letter actually from Notts County Council, and I found it out because I was looking at the plan. I was showing somebody last night the plan. And it says, as a local borough council member, I am sure you are aware of the Nottinghamshire County Council's intention to rebuild Lincroft Primary School. I have no clue. I don't know who this person thinks has told me or not told me. Hello. Our local member. Oh, it was signed by
Christmas.
Mrs. Christmas.
Annabelle Christmas. Oh, was that next to me, by the way?
Correct.
She was very heavily pregnant. I wasn't aware, but I'll come back to it. We have no objection to the school. The people that talk to me have objections to how are they going to accommodate the parking, the entrance. The entrance comes probably down there 3 Tons Road. They'll probably have to widen that. How is Walker Street going to cope with this extra traffic? Great to have the new school. Love that idea. And the headmistress says the old school area is tired. I don't know what she means by that, but that's what she said. So let's have a new school. They've got a load of cash. They can't do it on the old one. They need to build a good one, and that's a benefit to Eastwood because we've got to build a lot more houses and we'll probably need more places. I don't know about the extra care home that's been built on the old site. Why the hell did we knock that down? Because they had to do this in 3 weeks, so they said, last time they came. Why don't we actually build bungalows on there as we first intended to do, rather than the care home? And I think that would be probably better for elderly people to have their own little bungalow, 1 bedroom. There's a guy around here who builds 1 bedroom bungalows.
Mr. Stones.
Hang on a little bit.
Just excellently.
This is discussion of the school. That's the plans for the school, not extra care home. It's plans for the school.
Oh, we've no objection to plans for the school, we've objections to the whole plan, which is that's what we should be talking about. You can't suddenly put us on blinkers and say, all you can talk about is the school.
What is
school?
Can anybody tell me, can you, Chris, what this FR3 3576 is?
That is the planning application for the new school.
Exactly, that's what we're referring to. So let's not deviate, please.
Well, we have to do, because the planning application
Not tonight,
includes
sir.
No, I'm sorry,
care
David.
home at a residential development site. Whether you're sorry or not, that's what it's about, and that's what Eastwood people need to talk about. We
It's
can have
not
school,
on the agenda.
End of.
It's not on the agenda.
May I make
Can
a
you
comment,
make sure
please?
that goes on the agenda for next month, Mr. Clark?
As the representative of Eastwood Baptist Church, we're one of the near neighbours of the proposed site for Lincroft School. So we've been invited to comment on the plans, and the plans for the school are quite narrow, and there's a lot of information on the site
Chair?
about parking.
Chair, I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah?
It says, questions from member of the public. It's finished. They can't do it. So the member of the public's talking. What's that?
Sorry.
It's not on the
If you
agenda.
don't want me to talk,
Gary,
that's fine.
You were trying to help.
I was only offering some help.
My main concern, I mean, the school's a great thing, and it's a benefit for Eastwood.
Yes.
And I agree with everybody on that one. My main concern, is that when the parents bring the kids, often the biggest majority of them bring them in cars. Walker Street is not the right place for them to park when they bring the kids to school. That is my main concern.
Where was the parking when it was a senior school, not coming round it? Well,
No, it's in front of the school.
was it in front of the school?
Yes, David.
Mr Mayor, I'll just throw a span in the works now. Today, in fact, I've had a planning application for the Victory Club
Yes.
on Walker
Yeah.
Street for 17 new homes to be built there. And now they're talking about widening, 17.
17 solar.
I know it is. But if it does, eventually if it does go ahead, it's going to be chaotic there on Walker Street with a brand new school and 17 houses there.
In fact, David, I was going to come back to that because although it's not on the agenda, again, in these minutes, Councillor Charlton says there's no plans to do anything on...
There wasn't at that point.
There must have been plans somewhere because it's come up now this meeting and it's there, you know.
Well, aren't you on planning
So
a
we
block
should
show?
say-
Are you on planning a block show?
Am I?
Yes.
I am.
So, do you know of any plans for Walker Street before, Victory Club before tonight?
Absolutely, yes, I did. Because I got it from a text, an email from our admin. From our admin, before tonight.
Before the last meeting, Dave?
Yeah, no.
Before that, that's when Councillor
absolutely not.
Charles was mentioned it.
Absolutely not.
Right, that's what I'm
But
saying.
we should put, as I am aware, not there is no plans. You have to say, as I am aware, there is no plans for that. You have to make it quite clear what you're going to say.
But this was on the cards some time ago because there was an application at one point which was withdrawn. I can't remember why it was withdrawn. I think they probably
Car
didn't have the
parking.
financial
Yes, the
clout
bone of
to do it.
contention has been accessed.
Car parking.
And car parking.
Right, anyway, let's get back to the school, please.
So Chair,
It's
can we have that
fermented,
as
is that
an
his
agenda
say?
item for the next
Already.
meeting? We'll
Yes.
discuss the whole of this development.
Well, what purpose
You've
would
got
that
to take the
serve?
broader
And mixed
picture.
No,
You just can't do it on this alone.
Yes, sure.
You invited
So
those
are we saying that our decision for this school is going to be delayed for another, how long, Chris?
Well, you've got to take the broader picture, Mr Mayor, otherwise you just can't judge it. It's the housing and everything else on that site that's got to be taken into consideration.
It's
You've
this
got to look
planning,
at
it's
traffic
this planning
and
application
everything
that's come
else.
through.
Sorry?
It's this planning application that's come through.
I know it is, but
So we've
also
got to comment on that
we've also
planning
got to
application,
look at
surely.
what else they intend to do with that site.
21
We must
days of receipt of this letter.
Can't be taken in isolation.
So 21 days you've got to comment on it.
Yes, we've got 21 days to comment on this development.
That's date from the 20th.
21 days to reply to this development.
Yes. I've quite openly stated in these meetings I have no objection to building a school. I'll quite clearly state that.
Well, I got to this Friday, by the looks of it, somewhere around that time.
Yes, we have. But we need to be able to discuss in context that we agree with the school.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. All I'm saying is this application we're talking about tonight is the school.
Yeah.
Right, so what we're saying
so we're
is,
done with that.
what we're saying is, the council, we've got no objections to the school. Is that correct? Is somebody going to propose that?
Well, we need to put a little bit of an addendum to that, because everybody around here that lives locally will say, except for parking. The school we have no objection to whatsoever. Kids deserve education in decent buildings, and long may that continue. But the objection will be how are all these people going to park? Walker Street's
Yeah,
night
that's fine.
is.
That's fine.
So
and I
that has to be an
I think another
Shall
one.
we put double yellow lines out there?
Yeah. Well, they're already there, aren't they? What's it? As far as I can see as well, what we should add is that there must be room for sporting facilities.
Well, it says that there is sports
Yes, I know.
provision and
I know.
landscaping.
Yeah, but it's not in the current plan or the base plan, right? Until I ask the question: is there enough sporting facilities there?
Well, what's the 1.338 hectares of space for?
Yes. Well, that's since then. So I'm just making certain.
That's what I got at
The area.
2nd of August.
Yeah. Well, it's changed from that.
Oh.
She told us at the last meeting it had.
You told me you reported this to this council at the meeting that you hadn't, so
Oh.
I'm sorry I didn't hear
Okay. Fine. Okay. Right. Carry on. So, well, what we're saying, Chris, is.
Did the lady bring new maps when she came?
She did bring new maps. She did bring
Yeah,
new
she-
maps.
I think she brought a new map when she came.
It does say on here, Mr Mayor, sports pitch provisions and landscaping. So,
Yeah, but that's on the second plan, the big one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Charlie took one on with him. Remember, Charlie?
Sorry?
You took the new plan on with
Yeah,
you.
I think she brought some new plans.
So, as far as I'm concerned, Chris,
Right.
we'll put that point down. We need to clarify parking.
Parking,
Okay.
Mr Mayor, is you're going to make all the people down on Garden Road happy, on Wincroft happy, but you're just moving the problem elsewhere. You're going to move it to Walker Street, you're going to move it to David Street, I can assure you.
Well, at this point, Charlie, we
There's a
don't
widening
know.
on there, don't you? Reading this, and there's a new pedestrian.
On the website, there's a
route.
whole traffic assessment's already been carried out.
How wide?
And we've
So we
responded
said
in
there's not
respect
enough
of
room.
that.
Really, you don't know. Really, you don't know.
And some councillors haven't been bothered to find out
Really,
the
you don't
information in
know.
advance.
You can guess it. Why guess it?
Sounds
Let's
good
wait
to
until
know.
they come with a proper thing for it and tell us how wide it is. It might be 4 mile wide, we're all guessing.
What are you on about guessing? We're not. We're telling them what we require.
Mr.
We're not
Mayor, can
guessing.
you call
We're
on?
telling them what we require.
Can we have order, please?
What are you telling them?
Can we have order, please?
Mr. Mayor, if you take the time to look online at the website, they've done a traffic
Survey.
survey.
The floor is yours. Tell us. Why don't you come and tell us? Tell us.
I've
We've
just
got a
been-
traffic survey, what to say?
I've just been told that. I haven't
Oh,
looked.
you are.
But I'm not spouting like you are, all negativity.
No, I'm not negative. I'm just saying what's needed on Walker Street. That's not negative.
There was a
That's
school.
been
There was a,
proactive. We need to know
there was a
before the
school
building.
there before, wasn't there? How
And
did we
there was a
cope
car park in front of the school.
Yeah, but they used to park in the playground in front of the main entrance.
And then-
You've been in
and
the
then come
paper
out
standing
when they
in
get the
front of
kids
that
off.
derelict area. Surely you want to embrace them getting moving.
Always.
So, On this planning application, then we just want to. We're saying the school's fine, but we need to more information on parking. Thank you very much.
And proper access.
And
Have we got
can we
that,
have a vote
Clark?
on that,
Mr. Clark?
please? All in favour of that?
Yes.
Right.
Have you written that down, Mr. Clark?
Yes, it's all gone down.
Right. Planning update for
Notes as well.
the rest of the issues. Now you said, David, that you've had one.
Two back in.
Pardon? Oh yeah.
No, it's not on here. So
No,
just
no,
these two.
no. It's all right, David. I know it's only just come through.
Yeah.
Right. Next one. Eastwood Neighbourhood Plan.
Not another plan.
No, to,
No,
no, to,
anyone wants paper copies, please get in touch and we'll print them off.
And anybody wants to give us any suggestions in that?
I've got some,
Yes.
I've got some questions.
Deal with it tonight.
Take a long while.
Oh, that's okay, you can come and join us while we're having a long while over to Well, why not? Why not
Chris,
come and join us?
you print a paper copy off for Charlie, please.
Yeah. I have some questions, Bob.
Yeah.
And I think it would be advisable if we just sat down.
Yeah.
Rather than
Yeah.
people who are really not involved in here.
Yeah.
But I've got the plan. And,
Or first section
well,
of
the
that.
one that you gave me.
Yeah. There's still 3-4 sections to go.
Right. Well, I've got, oh, right. Okay, that's probably expensive. On the first page, it says Mayor's introductory letter.
Yeah, that's just a copy from Southwood.
And I'm quite surprised. It says the draft. The draft plan has been compiled by a dedicated group of Eastwood residents and includes your replies to our recent questionnaires.
Well, that's to be done at a later stage. That one is in there for later. It's for later stages.
Oh, that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that.
Yeah.
It will be your plan, not something imposed by faceless bureaucrats. That is offensive in my eyes, to put that into something from Eastwood Town. Faceless bureaucrat, to me, is offensive and needs changing.
We're not at a stage yet to go to public. This is a pre-public drafting session, and so that all the councillors can have access to it.
David, I think you're quite right. I think what you should do is have a separate discussion with Bob, because I'm sure what's down there that you don't like, we can put right.
All I'm quoting now is on the neighbourhood plan that was given me, not all this that I've looked into. On here it says employment, and it says page 20.
No, employment hasn't been written yet.
Yeah, but it says page 20 here.
Yes, it's
And
yours is a
on my page
pre-draft.
20, oh.
Yours is the section not written yet.
So all them pages that are wrong are not written. Like diversity and habitat and retail.
No, none of that. They are being drafted now.
It says quite good. What page is it?
Bob's just told you it's just a draft.
Yeah, but it says
More
quite
welcome to come and
good.
sit
Quite
with us.
clear what page it's on.
Right.
Thank you, Chairman.
Dan Clark's update.
Well, the first one is it, RFO.
Right, yeah, it's the RFO. I've had from the external auditor the notice of the conclusion of the audit, and from today it's been on the notice board that the audit has been completed, and this has been passed to the town clerk. There was criticism by the external auditor, which is nothing new, which you've got a copy of their comments. It would appear that they do not like us to put replacement values on the value of this building and other assets we've got. And to be quite truthful, if we try to put a value on all the work completed, it's only been, what, 2/3 of this building completed, or whatever size factor. Bob knows the size factor. We can't put a value on it. So therefore we've got to use the replacement value. Some of our assets, we've had them for years. So again, we've got to put a replacement value, and then the value we can use is the insurance value. If it burns down, that's what the insurance company is going to replace it with. But this is the same criticism, and we're not the only council, by the way, on this one, that gets the same thing every year. They don't like insurance values, they want actual purchase values.
Sorry, Chair, sorry, I'm not trying to do. Can't we have some local estate agent come in and give you a value?
We can get a value, but the work isn't all completed yet.
No, but I'm sure
later on
they're doing it regularly.
Maybe later on
they can extend that to say blah blah.
Well, we'll have a good valuation because at the moment it's going through the local business rate valuation.
That's right.
So there's another valuation there being done by a professional.
Yeah.
But this argument, whether it's replacement value or book value, is it book value they want or replacement?
They want actual value of what it costs.
Because book value is another thing.
Insurance value, don't they?
Yeah. So it's the same sort of comment every year, because if the external auditor doesn't say something, they're not doing the job.
Yeah.
And I used to be an auditor, so I know what it's like. You've got to look for something. Another one is a mistake by me. I put the wrong date on the statement here in part 1. It should have been the date of the meeting, which I had with Councillor Robb and Councillor Longdon pre-meeting, just to have a look at the accounts. And that's the date that should have been on there. So, yes, I'm human, I make mistakes. And that's the only criticism they've actually got on the accounts. So in other words, they've all been signed off from the external auditor. There are any minor details, there's nothing there that's major.
You'll have to sit on the naughty step for 5 minutes.
Pardon?
You'll have to sit on the naughty step for 5 minutes.
I'll do it, Charlie. I've been sitting on the naughty step for longer than 5 minutes, my friend. I can assure you. Been there, done it loads of times. So that's Grant Thornton. Oh, by the way, I think it's next year. It's the last year that we actually have to have Grant Thornton, because the year after that we can actually go out to tender and we can go for whichever external auditor we want. So that's something for the future.
All right, Chris.
Now the next one is about SA Nottingham and the unpaid invoices by them. I've given you a copy of a letter. Well, did I give you a copy of the letter? Which I sent to them on the 26th of September with 3 copies of outstanding invoices. They owe £292.08. This is money owed to the people of Eastwood, because basically they're the council taxpayers. And so the post office still owes that money. I've sent invoices out quite a lot. Anyway, I've had some information for you today, because I've actually spoken to the legal team that relates to our insurance company, because we pay for legal expenses. And so I spoke to somebody at the legal team. And he's given me some information about the contract and about them paying, etc. And it's very interesting. We have got an implied contract with the post office, or I should say the what's the name of the company? SA Nottingham Limited, I should say. And he said that I write a letter to them, another one saying letter before action. That is the name, the terminology which they said that I should put on the letter. We give them 14 days, and if we don't get any joy within the 14 days after that letter, then we will take legal action and go to small claims court to get the money from them. That's their advice from legal people. We're paying it, so we may as well get advice from the experts. So, yeah. Any questions on that at all?
Nope.
I am chasing.
You need to do it.
Yeah.
We need to do it. You know, I know it's only £292, but it's
principle.
It's the principle of it. And anything over £250, we can go to small claims court. What's the next one?
This one, the finances.
Oh yeah, the finances.
About bank balance.
Right, okay. There's been a concern, I believe, about what our bank balances are going to be like with the council. And so I've put a summary here, which I've only given you tonight. I know you've not had a chance to look at it and fall asleep reading it. But this is up-to-date information. Today's bank balance is 88,091p. The estimates of the what we're going to be paying out, some are actuals, some are estimates, of 45,591p. That's what we're poundage to say. That's what we're going to pay out. We're going to have an estimated income from rent, and I've only taken it from the 1st of January. Might get some before then. Of £4,250. And therefore the estimated bank balance will be approximately 46,750. If you compare this with 31st of March 2015, it was £51,014. Last year was an exceptional amount because we still had money from the loan to pay for this building. So that we can't really do a like with like comparison, but you can with what happened in 31st of March 2015 to 2017. Obviously, the amount of money that we would have had this year, and I'm sorry I'm harping what the public are saying, if we hadn't have had the unnecessary cost of the election, we would have had £53,750. But we've got it, so we have to live with it. But that would have been very much a like-for-like situation. 53,750 against 51,014. But we're still above water, we are floating. Any questions?
Yes, Charlie.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Howard.
Yep, go on, Charlie.
Other costs, £4,411.
£5,000. Oh yeah.
Does this include the Mayor's civic evening and the?
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've gone through what we expect to be paying out in the next 5 months and just estimated it accordingly, Charlie.
Right. Thanks.
You know, taking all the gas, electricity bills, etc., which is obviously going to be big ones.
Yes, David.
Sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah. Can we have, as at today, the amount that we have in reserves?
Very difficult one, that. I would have to go through all sorts of processes to actually do that calculation. But the reserves are made up of what's in the bank, just put into different slots. Really? That's what the reserves are. You see, the reserves at the year end include all the sorts of adjustments I make, prepayments and accruals. It includes moving money to different things like anything to do with the allotments. All those are different pots which all make up what we've got in the bank. So really and truthfully, what's in the bank is going to be more or less your reserves, with just some slight tweaks because of adjustments I have to make. So these are more or less the reserves.
So you're saying the reserves are?
Approximately £46,750. Approximately. But as I say, there will be adjustments.
46,760, is that the same?
46750. It's the estimated bank balance at 31st of March will be approximately the reserves. There's just like slight tweaks with accounting adjustments. So I can't tell you what those adjustments are going to be at a particular stage. So we'll go for the bank balances.
Right. Chris.
Right, well, the first one is the Remembrance Day. Since the last meeting, we've had 2 meetings. First of all, Notts County Council are in the process of going through the stages of getting the closure order in place. Secondly, Councillor Charles and myself met Martins, the local traffic management, and we've actually sort of set up now how we're going to operate the closure programme. It won't be carried out by the police, they'll just be there in safety, but we're in the process of resolving that one. And Councillor Charles did report this to you at the last meeting. What we do need are marshals. We do need marshals. We need 16 road marshals at least. if people could come forward as soon as possible, we do need some road marshals, very important, and they will have to report to this office at 9:30 on the day of the event for instructions. The Reverend Stevenson is organising the service, and then Councillor Masters is involved with the British Legion, and they're organising the various stages of getting the bands to get the band together, and all the various civic organisations. Catering is also being looked at, and it will be held in this building, the catering. So it's all being listed on this report. The other thing is on Friday the 11th there will be a service also at the Memorial Cottages and at Century Fields, and we're going to try and get some coffee tea in the what's it called, the cafe at the far end, was owned by the Dunlight, yes. So that basically is the arrangements for the Remembrance Service Parade on the 13th of November. Are there any questions?
No. Thanks.
In a fortnight's time, the 24th of October, there will be the Mayor's Civic Evening. And the arrangements are in hand for this to be carried out. There will be some grants offered, and people have been invited. One thing that we haven't got at this moment, and we wish anyone could help us, we do need someone who could photograph these various occasions that's going to be taking place. Unfortunately, the previous person is no longer available, so we would like someone who could assist us to take photographs. If anyone's got any idea of anyone in the town who could help us. No, just so that we've got a record.
There was a guy who was at the Boxer Club open day.
Yes.
Lives at Hena or Langley Mill.
Right.
He said that if we needed any photography or anything like that, he would be quite prepared to win him. I don't know his name.
I've got his name and
But I think
details.
Josie's got his name and number, so
Okay,
that's a
speak to him.
possibility.
There's a possibility,
Yeah.
actually. There's one of the recipients is a photographic club.
Yeah, I was just going to say that he lives on Green Hills Road. You know him, David, don't you?
Yeah.
Down Coach Drive. Andrew. What's his name? His daughter stood for council, didn't she? She's a driving instructor.
Oh yes, I do know him, yeah.
Yeah.
I do know him, yeah.
He's in the photograph club
Right.
in Eastwood, and they're organising to have this room for hire, aren't they, at the moment? And he's a very good photographer as well.
The club involved with the grant was actually the Gravale Club. There's
Yeah,
two
well,
cameras clubs now.
Yeah, well, this is, he was talking about it, but they're Eastwood one as well.
Yeah.
For photography club.
Right.
So I bet he'd be willing to do it.
Lovely.
Photographer.
Well, so that will be an event taking place in a fortnight, and we hope as many councillors as possible can come to the event. The next one is the Mayor's Civic Service. Arrangements are now in hand for this to take place on the 4th of December at St Mary's Church at 3 o'clock. And civic dignitaries are being organised, and also Council Longden has organised several activities will be happening during the service. Springbank School, the Brownies are going to do a performance, Greasley Singers and a piano soloist. So it will be and civic dignitaries have been invited. It's come to the end of the year as far as the garden service is concerned. So what you've got there is a yearly report on the actual activities of the garden service. One thing that we have reported previously last year is it is reducing in numbers, and we have tried to get the numbers increased, but we're still in a situation where it is going down in numbers. If anyone's got any ideas how we can increase these figures to make it a more viable situation, because I mean as far as the contract is concerned, he's quite happy to continue, but he does accept the fact that it is vastly reduced. If anyone make any comment?
I think it's a case of us dealing with the demand that's there, but also probably next year trying to do a bit more advertising around, so because I'm sure we don't collect all the people that are in need. I think there's people out there struggling on. themselves.
Sorry.
So I think a bit more advertising next year for trying to get to those people that the scheme's designed for.
Yeah.
I don't really want to widen the scheme. I just
No.
want to keep the scheme as it is.
That's right.
For those people in need. It is in need. There isn't actually any age requirement on it. It's whether that individual is in need of their garden doing, or whether they've got actually anybody else to do it for them, which is one of the criteria. So it's sort of based on that.
Are we still taking on clients at this late stage?
Not
Can you
now.
answer
No,
that?
normally it's
Well, basically the service is finished for this year. But if somebody came in and had a problem, then obviously we've got the funding, so we'll look at it.
yeah.
I'll give you a
Right.
Failing that, Mr Mayor, we could offer him as part of his contract the contract to do the gardens on the allotment side, the pathways and the hedges, and ask him if he's interested.
You can do, but that will come out a different pot rather than the.
Well, that's right, but I know it's been said around this table that people aren't too happy with the current contractor and what he actually does. So, and we've known Nick for a long time, and he's done a good job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's a good one. That might be an answer.
I've said that one.
Right. Next one, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. On the last meeting, Ken was talking about the allotments, and he said that he'd allocated an allotment to the lady at 10 Woodside. Now, I wasn't very happy with that, because councillors shouldn't be involved in allocating allotments or indeed terminating. That should come from the office, the allocation and the termination. And I think the rules we've got are slightly ambiguous on Rule 11, where it says carry out terminations and implement the... I mean, what are we talking here? Abortion?
Giving him the silver bullet.
I think one or two people got that in mind. Are we talking about that, or should this be where the town clerk sends a letter out to say that he's allocated a garden, and to liaise with Ken to move into it and make sure that it's in good form. There's no weeds and things like that. But I do think that rule wants changing. So there's a lot of ambiguity about that, and I'd really like it set out so that there's no ambiguity at all.
Bob.
I can remind councillors this was actually drafted for us, or bulk of it was drafted for us from Broxdale Legal team, and then it was put out to vote at this council. So it was actually done with the legal team at Broxdale's approval. If we're going to make any changes, it will have to go through that loop again, because I wouldn't want it changing willy-nilly here. It's our procedure, not Broxdale's procedure, but at the end of the day, I'd like it properly checking.
Yeah.
What
David.
I worry about, Mr Mayor, is the fact...
David.
Is the fact that councillors are possibly involved in allocation like that, and that could bring the council into disrepute, because if you've got a waiting list of 3 or 4 people, probably even more, and somebody gets it, then there are a few Chinese whispers, and what happens then?
David.
Well, they're feeling, and this is wrong.
David.
Yeah, I think I was just going to chime up on the same thing there. I think Ken has to act as an agent for the town clerk, and I think he may put himself in a situation where he could be accused of favouritism, and I don't want him to go into that situation.
Yes, Ken, and then I'll make a statement.
Can I say to Charlie and to David that I don't do any favouritism. Anybody who wants an allotment, okay? No, anybody who wants an allotment, they apply to the office.
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Now there's a waiting list, and the town clerk and Debbie as well.
Yeah.
Right. I inform them I get notification if somebody wants an allotment, right, which has gone through the office. They've applied through the office first. I meet the people on the allotment and I show them the allotment, and if they want the allotment, then I tell them to go to the office and see Chris and Debbie to discuss it. I do not set anybody on it at all.
It gives the impression you do.
No, I do not.
No.
Unfortunately, Ken, I picked it up and the tape itself did come out with you saying that you'd actually allocated an allotment to the lady.
So, Charlie,
I must have missaid that, Charlie.
Yeah.
Because
Well, it's on the tape.
I don't allocate.
Charlie,
I send them to the office.
Yeah.
Charlie,
Yes,
Ken's answer to that question, are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it as long as he doesn't.
That's fine. So
Do anything with
there's, nothing changes because the statement I was going to make was that that has been passed by the council, and anything that's passed by the council can't be changed until 6 months after. Or 5 councillors have got to sign a form to update that.
Yeah, but
Right? So if we're now saying that you're quite happy with what Ken's doing, that's fine.
I will accept it pro tem, but it's ambiguous, and that's the problem.
Chair, just an aside and an observation, since we've had this little list, it says Rule 8G, the tenant must not dispose of any refuge. But what's the refuge?
Refuse.
Hiding.
Shoot at refuse, it means.
Does it mean that
It's been quite wrong.
it is changing?
Yeah.
And to make sure no barbed wires. It should be barbed wire. So can we just add it to, so we can get it accurate?
Yes, but at the same time, can I just make the statement that was passed within a meeting, written like that. So if it was wrong now, it's wrong now.
It was.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Right, so that one's answered. Next one, Charlie.
Yeah, taxes in Eastwood, Mr Mayor.
Yep.
There's been some deregulation on taxis, and what I'm seeing in town now is cars with Gedling plates parked around the town. Now, I think it's wrong that they should be touting for business in Broxtowe. Broxtowe drivers, as far as I'm aware, don't go over to Gedling. In fact, Gedling plates have been seen as far south as the West End of London touting for business. They've been seen driving around Leicester Square.
So I think what we'll do then, Charlie, is we'll complain to Broxtowe on your behalf.
Well, I was going to say, if we send a letter to Broxtowe and ask them to send a stiff letter to Gedling, asking them to keep their plates out of town, I'd be very happy.
Yes, Ken.
Some of these Gedling drivers, if you ask them to take you to Ralston Drive in Arnold, they wouldn't know where it was. And so ask them now to take you to Lamb Lane
Yes,
in
Ken.
Eastwood, they wouldn't know where it was.
I was going to say, it's a well-known fact that Gedling Council issue licences to taxis easier than Nottingham
Yes.
and Broxton
Yes, I
and
do know
anywhere
that.
else. So
Yes.
we apply to Gedling.
Yes, Bob.
It might have changed over the last year, but it's still the same. There's two matters. Only a taxi can pick up if you're hailed on the street. But the problem is modern technology has totally got rid of that, because now somebody just gets on the phone and then it's private hire. And the private hire regulations haven't been changed for all the taxis.
Right.
But what you've got certain road councils. Gedling is one, where Gedling is the second highest number of plates in the country. They operate in Glasgow, London, all over, as private hire. As when you get a licence under private hire, you can operate anywhere inside the United Kingdom on that licence. You mustn't pick passengers up on the street from hailed, but of course, now if you pick your mobile phone up and phone the number on the side, you're on private hire.
That's right.
The legislation hasn't caught up with technology, or whether you text or whatever. All electronic means it's now the legislation does need rewriting, and basically, if you pay the money at Gedlin, you get the plate. There's very little checks compared to what Broxtowe was, whether you suit the colours.
It makes me worry too, Mr Mayor, about the inspection of cars that have got private hire plates or taxi plates, because in some districts it's very stringent,
Yes.
and in others it's not
No.
so stringent. And I think some of this traffic is being booked through Uber. This thing they've got now, which I wouldn't know how to use, and I wouldn't want to use anyway. But I do feel a strong letter to Broxtowe
Yep,
asking them to.
We can put that in, Charlie. No problem.
Thank you.
Next one.
Yeah, parking on Plumtree Way. If you remember, there were several vehicles parked at the bottom of Plumtree
Correct.
Way, chewing up the grass. I think it's still about that deep, the roots
Yes.
behind. Now, from further back, and at the top of that section, there's a BMW car parked on the grass.
Right one.
And there's also a highways maintenance vehicle parked on the grass. And that needs to be stopped. And I think we could ask, put a letter out from the council reminding tenants that they are not to park on the green sward. If that fails, then we get in touch with the county council, asking them to put
Yes,
some spikes
it does.
down the side.
It is county council, Charlie,
It
and
is,
I have reported that previously, and I'll chase it up.
Okay,
Right?
thanks.
Because you're quite right, and I don't know whether it's a service bus for Eastwood, but there's a bus of some sort down there. Yeah, you seen it?
The Y1.
Y1.
Yeah, and there's
It's
also
where it terminates, isn't
a
it?
white pickup van.
Yes.
Parks there, highways maintenance van.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, Charlie, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, report from town councillors. Matters concerning the borough. Matters concerning...
Just one while you're pushing on. I have spoken to members of the Borough Council, reference Durban House. I don't know if anybody's been past lately, but the ivy is just coming over the wall like triffids. And it's climbed up one tree and it's coming down and I have to dive through it. So I've asked them to make sure that they do maintenance on Durban House because it's been neglected.
You want to let it go in?
I've done it myself.
Oh, that's all right then.
And well, the chief exec assures me that it was going to be done this week. So she's got till tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm sending another email. It wasn't done last week. And
It is bad when I walk up with the kids. It is bad.
It is. And they are responsible for the maintenance still of their house.
Once you see it neglected, it gets vandalised.
It may do that, I'm not sure, I can't guarantee.
Right, nothing for county council.
Nothing.
No. Payment schedule. Yes. Yes, Bob.
I know you're supposed to do advance notice and how
Okay,
forgive
fine.
me if you
That's
don't
okay,
mind.
you man. Yeah.
Just one thing, as regards on the payment schedule 617, we've got down there domestic rates. Howard, can you put it on your to-do list, please? We've got
Domestic.
council tax and business rates.
Yes, we have, yet.
The council tax, which is the domestic rates.
Yeah.
Can you inform the taxation people that now it's got planning permission,
Right, okay.
so therefore it should fall under the business rates payable,
Right, okay.
which we're now still waiting.
Yes, in other words, going to change it over. I think we've also had something about the business rates that we're not going to get charged for some time.
Yeah.
Because I've got one of the valuation documents saying value nil. So we're not going to be getting any money. They
So-
charge us.
So if you want to put it on to that, and
Yeah, yeah,
you've
in other
also
words-
got the 6 months renovation at nil anyway that still takes place on business.
This is the flat.
Yes.
This is the flat. It needs to go from council tax to building rates.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should save us a bit of money.
Every little bit counts.
It does.
Don't you make a note of that, you might have done it.
Any more questions?
Thank you very much.
Yes, David.
You've got down here on the 137 gun, 4,000 in reserve, but yet on the grants themselves, we're only giving out 3,900.
Grants. Yeah, we're 3,900 is what we're paying out, and yet it was £4,000 grant. I was told by Debbie that it was 3,000.
Right.
Buffer.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah, you're right there, David. Yes, it was Debbie who told me actually took them all up. It's 3,900 when the cheques are made out.
Can I formally move the acceptance and payment
Yes.
schedules?
All in favour? Thank you. I declare the meeting closed.
Pat.